Right, here we are in Stonehouse, South Lanarkshire. See where we are? I wonder if I can hold this like that. Possibly I can. Okay. Now we're in Stonehouse village, not far from Straven. There's a church up there. I'm looking for a particular church. And we're just passing by the cross. Old Steenhouse. We're going into Scots vernacular now. The Old Steenhouse Cross Cafe. That's upstairs. I'll give that a try sometime. Angle Street, there you go. So somewhere down here there must be a graveyard. I hope you're not getting too much wind noise. Shouldn't get it. So which way is it? Shall I try this way first? I have no idea. You and I can find it together. Looking for the grave of a brave Covenanter from when did he die? Yeah, 1679. Excuse me, is there a graveyard down this way?
No, you're heading the wrong direction. It's right down the other way.
Along the main street a bit and then...
Literally, this is the crossroads, I'll show you.
Right. There's two churches, it's none. I thought it was over this side.
There's actually a few cemeteries in Stonehouse, and they're all pretty much next to each other.
Right.
So, get there, straight down. I'm trying to think of the easiest way to tell you to do this, right? You go straight down that road. You will see there's a wee road that turns. There's a road that turns up.
Right.
It's called Hill Road.
Right.
Walk to the end of it. Or you could go, this will be an easy way for you if you don't know the area. Keep walking all the way up that hill, up that road, and just before there's a school on the left hand side. Just at the bottom of that school there's a road called Vickers Road. And you walk up there and you see a big church on the right hand side. You're walking all the way round and you're actually going down a country road to get to the cemeteries. It's a wee walk.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, thanks very much. Well, there you are. Seen that miles out of the way. So it would seem what should I ask for is Mance Road actually, shouldn't I? Right, I'll let you see where we are. Better than looking at me. There we go. the lady here. Very nice. Wandering looking for a grave. I'm a bit lost. How can you get lost in Stonehouse? I'll ask somebody else. Let's turn this camera to myself while I ask, so I'm not videoing people. Okay, any idea where Mance Road is?
Mance Road?
Mance Road.
Training.
I thought it was down that way somewhere.
No, I
It's
think
up way up there.
it's up there. See if you go
Are you walking?
Aye.
walk
Way
round.
up the top of Stonehouse.
Is that right?
Oh, is
Better
that?
get in the
I
car.
thought it was Mance Road like that.
What are you looking for? The
Look for the Covenanters grave.
Oh, I've got there then.
right. Wait a minute. So that Mance Road goes like the houses to. So you could go that way, you know?
No, quite the old graveyard.
Aye.
Old graveyard. See if you got round that corner there.
Right.
Up there and round that
Second
way.
on your right.
Round the corner, right?
Right.
And then go right. There's a junction. Just go right up
Right.
up that road, and you got by the church.
Right.
There's a church up there.
So it must be Mance. The Mance must be up
Aye.
there.
So if you follow that church round, if you follow that road round by the church, then you come down, you go underneath the motorway, you see the dual carriageway.
It's a fair distance for the thing of it.
That's actually not that
No.
far.
No,
And
you'll be fine.
then that's you come out into the kind of country,
Right.
and it's like, you go under there and it's like field both sides. You just keep walking up that road, and you go right up to the very top as it turns the corner, and there's the graveyards into your
The
right
oldest, so there's three graveyards. So
There's
you're
two
old.
churches, each of those will have a graveyard. I thought there was another one somewhere over there. I can
there.
only
No, they're all up there as far as I know.
Right, the congregation's shut now. Congregation's a house now.
okay.
Patterson Church is shut down. And you can sit in the church.
It says Stonehouse Churchyard, Mance Road.
And the church. That's
That's the old. Is that the old one? Remember it used to be a bell tower?
There's an old church in the graveyard.
Right.
It's like all that's left of it is just
Ruin.
it's just like a gable end with a bell
I
tower
saw
on it.
that on the map. Aye, that was a ruined one as well.
So keep going.
Round the corner.
I would say second on your right, going up Vickers Road.
Right.
You'll see the big church on the right hand side.
Right.
Just follow that road all the way around.
I'm going to get the car, just take it with me.
Oh, you walk? Oh,
I've got the car round the
You've
back.
got a car, well, you'll be able to park right
I've
up
got
at right up there.
Aye.
It's quite
You
a
can
free
still
type.
go that road though.
Right.
So second on your right,
Second on the right.
keep
up there.
driving.
Up by the church, round under the motorway, and then you just keep. You follow it. It goes right up a big hill, go right up the hill to the top.
Right.
It turns round, and the graveyard's on your right hand side.
Oh.
There's actually a wee bit where you can park in there.
I'll give it a go.
It's a wee bit waste bit of ground as you go into through the wee gates. You can park in
This
it.
is harder than I thought it was going to be.
No, it's actually quite. You make it sound more complicated now. You just stop here, taking the right, and then just follow the road right up.
Right, I'll
You'll
get
see
the,
it on the right hand side.
I'll get the car and that'll do me. Thanks very much.
Aye, no problem.
Cheers. Well, maybe I'm going to find this place yet. I don't know. The map made it look as if it was over there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the map again. I don't know how that's going to work using this live streaming at the same time. It could be a bit tricky. Yeah, we'll give it a try. If anybody's looking in just now, oh, I've got I got 2 likes from people, that's very kind. Anybody's looking in, could you let me know if the sound is okay? I'm using this fancy little microphone here. I'm never convinced the sound is okay unless somebody tells me. Let's see, what can I do? Right, I'm going to try using the map and leaving this streaming. It might cut out for a bit. If so, I'm sorry about that. Okay, we're making our way, hopefully, to it. Who's that? Right. There we go. We're going to try and make our way to Ant Road. Oh, this is weird, isn't it? This is all a bit strange, trying to live stream from a vehicle. For anybody looking in, I'm looking for a graveyard. I found the grave of a gentleman who was known 200 or 300 years ago, as a Covenanter. And he was killed as a result of a battle in Scotland in 1679. What I'm trying to do is get to the graveyard. People have been very kind and given me advice. It should only be about 2 minutes and we'll be there. So bear with me. The village we're going through is called Stonehouse, and it's in central Scotland in a district called South...
Turn right onto King Street.
Thank you. District called South Lanarkshire.
In half a mile, at the roundabout, take the first exit.
Okay. Yeah, Scotland had a kind of a tragic period, very cruel period in the 17th century, 1600s. It related to religion and the monarchy. I'm still trying to follow the instructions. There we go. not good at is multitasking. I'm trying to watch the road, follow the instructions, and drive the car all at the same time. Oh, I missed an instruction. Right, there's a roundabout here. I think we should be going right at some point soon.
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
Okay. Sorry if the picture's gone blurry for you, but I really can't do much about that just now.
In half a mile, turn right onto Mance Road.
That's it, that's where I'm heading, Mance Road. The Mance is where the minister would live, or would have lived. I'll tell you more about this grave, this gentleman's grave, I think when I get there. Sorry, the signal dropped just then, and I couldn't do anything about it. Right, this is not working too well. I'm looking for a Stonehouse graveyard. I'm not. And it's a single track road here. It's not very good. There we go. There we go, sir. Okay, on we go. So there must be the remains of an old church down here, an old churchyard and a graveyard on Mance Road. Passing by some boarding kennels, and that looks like a really ancient farm building, doesn't it? It's ancient.
Arrive at your destination.
So this is it. This is Mance Road. This is not much good. I do not see a graveyard. I do not see a church. Well, maybe I can ask this gentleman down here. Maybe ask him. Excuse me. Is there an old graveyard down here?
Aye, probably about a quarter of a mile on your right hand
Oh,
side.
lovely. Thanks very much. Cheers. There you go. Local knowledge is a great thing, isn't it? Quarter of a mile around here. On a single track. Presumably it'll be posted in some way. I'm sure the Scottish Covenanters organisation. Tell you what, I'll go in here, I'll let this guy go past. Okay. You're welcome. Well, if we meet another car like that, you'll probably end up disconnected because I'll have to put the phone down. Right, are we here yet? Are we here? I can see. Oh yeah, I see something up ahead. Excuse me. Oh, this looks interesting. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Whoops. We've got the guy here. I'm just going to drive in here a bit and give him some room to get past. And we'll see where we can park. Wow, there we are. That can get past me with no problem. Anything getting past. Okay, let's exit the vehicle and see what we can see. Okay, what we're looking for in a minute is the last resting place of a gentleman called James Thompson. James Thompson's grave. And taking information from, I think it's the Scottish Covenanters Association, it's telling me about James Thompson. I'm just reading from a printout here, so all credit to the organisation. I think that's where this is from. James Thompson, buried in Stonehouse is James Thompson, who was a farmer at Hanhill, which is still located near to Blackwood, just over the boundary of Stonehouse parish in the parish of Lesmahago. James Thompson was active, this is the important bit then, James Thompson was active at the Battle of Drumclog, which is only half a dozen miles from here, I think, on the 1st of June 1679, where the Covenanters had a victory over Graham of Claverhouse's troops. That was the King's troops, the Royalist troops. So the Covenanters had a victory over them. However, a few Covenanters were killed. There were 6 Covenanters were killed, of whom James Thompson was one. And he's from near here, so this is his graveyard. Thompson being one of these, dying of wounds received. Okay, 2 stones mark Thompson's grave. Let's see if we can find 2 stones. 2 stones mark Thompson's grave. The oldest was erected in 1734. So it was quite a wee while after his death. That's 50 odd years after his death. Took him a while. And there's a small headstone. Unfortunately, at some point, it received a breakage, which was subsequently repaired. In 1832, descendants had a new marker stone erected adjoining the old stone. It's also known that James Thompson's wife and their only son were captured at some point and imprisoned in Blackness Castle. I've got some photographs or maybe some video of Blackness Castle on the shores of the Firth of Forth. That's near Edinburgh side. What happened to them is unknown. Right, there's something interesting about the old stone here that we'll check ourselves. The old stone commemorating Thompson is known locally as the Bloodstone. Locals claim that the small hole on the headstone will cause the finger to bleed if it is inserted within it. Shall we try that and see? That sounds strange. Okay, let's go and find the headstone and we'll check out if it really is a bloodstone, as the locals have said. Right, let's go. Now, unfortunately today I brought my new gimbal, which I'm getting used to using, but I missed out on the phone clamp part of the gimbal, and that was really silly. I thought I'd covered all my bases today, but obviously I hadn't. So somewhere in the house I have an all-important clamp to go onto this phone so I can attach it to the gimbal. It's a real pain I haven't got it. Absolute pain. Right, car there. I'm not going to lock. Who's going to steal a car here? I'm going to stick my backpack on. So, sorry if it's a bit wobbly. I'm just holding the phone with my hand. Ugh. So, right, here we go in this graveyard. We're going to see the graveyard and we'll look for this bloodstone. It's quite an attractive outside wall for a graveyard, isn't it? Great. If you would like to do me a favour, you could tell me if the audio is okay on this. And of course, if the audio is not working, you won't know that I'm asking you to do this. So there you go. We'll go in the main and we'll look for this bloodstone. Let this car go past. Investigating a few more of the Covenanters of Scotland. If you've looked at more of my videos, you'll find a couple of others relating to the Covenanters. It's an interest I've taken up fairly recently. In 17th century Scotland, there was a kind of a division in the Protestant church at the time. This was after the Reformation, but there was still a division in amongst the Protestant side of it. There were some who were loyal to the king, Charles when did it start? Charles the First, Second, yeah, Charles the First and Second. They were loyal to the king, and the king thought he was the divinely appointed head of the church, and a lot of the Protestant clergy and the ministers severely objected to that, and made up a document which many signed, and it was called the National Covenant, and it more or less said, no, we're not loyal to the king unless you allow us to arrange our church the way we want, and we do not want bishops, we do not want an episcopal system. They wanted their church ruled by the people, pretty much, Up to a point. I think the ministers had a good against the law if you're a covenant. Right, usually there's a big so it got to be quite a violent time. The Covenanters, in order to keep themselves safe, I'm shouting in case that helicopter noise is getting in the way. The Covenanters, in order to keep themselves safe from troops, would arm themselves, and that is what happened on the 1st of June. Check the date. I'm terrible with numbers, so I always have to have the numbers handy. Yeah, 1st of June 1679. the Covenanters were having a service at Drumclog. Excuse me. And Graham House, his troops, the King's troops, discovered them. And because many of them were armed, they actually managed to Claverhouse's troops and were quieted at that, having the service and then beating up, driving off the troops. Half a dozen Covenanters, the worshippers, were killed, sadly, in the skirmish. And James Thompson was one of those who died from his injuries. Signpost up somewhere. I've just walked straight past it while blethering to the... Apologies for the blackouts now and again. This seems to be a particularly bad area for reception. War Memorial. Reception's terrible. Right, let's assume that it's terrible. Right, let's assume that it's one that's fairly near the start of the graveyard, assuming this end is the start. And always was. Hanging old stones up here. Nope. We do have a picture of the grave. Not much fun looking at a picture of a grave, is it? But I'm sure that's what we're looking for. I'm looking for so if you've actually been here and know where it is, could you give me a clue? That would be nice. Davidson. So these are all quite relatively modern graves. Allen. Well, maybe they started putting people in at the far end. So we'll walk down to the far end and see things like these. Interesting, mind you, on their own, even if you can't find the Covenanters one. Died, this is William Cunningham. Died 2nd April 1935, aged 66, from employees of Jackson, Elphick and Company Limited, Avon Foundry. Oh, so he worked in Avon Foundry. Well, that's very nice. Maybe he didn't have anybody to put a stone for him and bury him. So his workmates helped out. That's nice. That is nice. Anyway, let's march on down to the bottom unless we find something Interesting. The signal keeps dropping here. Yeah, see, you don't feel so bad about it when you see the headstone. It's just sad to see ones which are children, or somebody who's died in the war, or somebody who's had an accident, as I've noticed passing by here. Yeah, these ones are sad. My son Alex, who died in infancy. My daughter Helen. Well, so far so bad. I'm finding not what I want at all. Let's go down this end. Once I've had a look down here, I was hoping there was perhaps an older section of the graveyard, but no, I don't think so. This is it, complete walled in area. I wouldn't have thought that any of the graves here are of that. They're all fairly recent. Sorry, making you look up my nose again. They're all fairly recent. Nothing hidden. So we're looking for an old one and a newer one. Affixed. Open when it's dug. Wow. Let's walk up here a bit. Well, that's one of the most unusual headstones I've seen. Look at that. Have you ever seen one like that? It's like a tree trunk. Butterflies, ivy. That's lovely. Unusual. And how that one's made. An insert of granite. That's another one, interesting. Somebody's workmates have provided a stone. So in loving memory of William Brown, died 8th April 1942. From fellow workers, Central SMT, that was a bus company, Traction House. Again, possibly somebody who couldn't afford his family, maybe he didn't have family. Well, there seems to be a practice, a habit of doing this, erected by employees of the Hamilton Weaving Company. Memory of Robert Jackson, who died 31st January 1942, aged 68. Yeah, it's quite... In those days, that was possibly, as we would say, a good age, but not these days. These days you expect to go on for another 20 years, at least. But still, again, they're all quite modern, relatively speaking. Walk around here, see what there is. Nope. Well, it looks like my trip is possibly going to be in vain because I can't find the Covenanter's grave. James Thompson's last resting place. I'm beginning to think this is maybe not the right graveyard, although that's the one that's listed with the address. There's quite a number of broken stones. Certainly a war memorial here. Lest we forget, so certainly that is there. Not the Covenanters one. And regretfully, I think I have to give up on this one. Yeah, maybe. Sadly, I'm going to have to give up on it. Yeah. Thanks for looking in, all the people who have looked in, and especially leaving some likes. That's very nice. I've got 4 likes is very nice of people. Yeah, if you're interested in graveyards of the Covenanters, I've got 1 or 2 other videos, so have a look at my channel. It's not all about graveyards and things, it's mainly hiking, but I have got a few recent ones related to Covenanter's tale, and I explain a little bit more about it. I intend doing a few others and more or less collecting Covenanters' last resting places, monuments. But looking around here, I cannot find James Thompson's grave, sadly. Maybe somebody will comment who knows about it and tell me exactly which number to go to. But really, these all look too recent. I'll have a wander up and down the street here a bit outside and see if there's perhaps another older part. But it does say Stonehouse Cemetery, And that's where we are. Interesting enough look around. But not what I want. So what I'll do is I will walk up down in case I'm missing another little odd section of graveyard, but I don't think so. I think that's it. And try to find it, maybe come back another time. I'll fly the drone up. If I find the grave, then I'll make it worthwhile and make a little video out of it. But yeah, so far it's only been this live stream, and I've had a few people looking. So if you're looking in from somewhere, as you obviously are, because everybody's somewhere, give a wee hello if you don't mind before you go. Oh, and click a like. That's always nice to get. Click a like, say hello, say where you're from, where you're looking in from, even if it's only down the road, or if it's in America, or if it's India, or wherever you are. I'll give you a last look around at the view before I shut up shop. If I do find another live stream, but I think I will. Another live stream, but I think I won't. See over here. So it's goodbye from Terry's Travels. At Stonehouse.